Good evening, guys. I know it's a little late here, but as always, I'm your host, Chi-Town Zone. With that being said, this is an update to a breaking story I brought many of you earlier this afternoon, in which many of you may be aware of the tragic situation that unfolded out of Jersey City, New Jersey, where two suspects led police on a chase where it ended in a bodega grocery store, should I say a Jewish run grocery store there, just across the street from a school, where suspects began to shoot it out with police officers there, fatally wounding one of them and wounding six others inside of the grocery store there. Of course, in tragic situations like this, it just goes to show you that criminals have absolutely no regard for any kind of authority or human life whatsoever again. We do know that the two suspects are among those deceased, as well as the six others inside of the grocery store, including the 13-year veteran of the force, 40-year-old Joseph Seal, who tragically leaves behind his wife and five children. We know that Officer Joseph Seal joined the force in 2006, and he was well known for taking illegal firearms off the streets, according to sources. At this time, we do know that, of course, from what the article has read, or at least from what we have read, that Joseph Seal was reported to be investigating these individuals they were involved with the shootout with over a homicide that took place apparently sometime last week, from what our sources are telling us as of right now. Where we do know again that this shooting originally took place at a cemetery where Joseph Seal was expected to meet with the suspects, where suspects opened fire on officers and then later led police on a brief chase where it ended again at the bodega grocery store there just across the street from a school, which we know the school was immediately put on lockdown. And keep in mind, I was listening in real time over the scanner, and as I was listening, it had to have been the most frighteningest thing ever. You can actually hear gunfire in the background, and it was just so loud. It was as almost though you were there. I mean, it was really hair-raising to hear that, because every time you heard those pops, that was the sound of possibly someone tragically losing their life. And it's always unfortunate when these kinds of things happen, because, of course, criminals, as I've said again, absolutely have no regard for human life whatsoever, and would be willing to go to any length to try to get away with whatever it is that they were doing. And these guys obviously proved just that they did not care whatsoever what they were doing at all. They fatally wounded six other people inside of this grocery store, including a police officer. Imagine that, a 13-year veteran of the force, a father of five who was happily married, I'm sure, and just tragically loses his life with just days to Christmas, and along with six others inside of the grocery store as well. However, though, from what sources are telling us, we do know that a third suspect is still on the loose as of right now. This is really unfortunate. We do hope that officers are able to detain this suspect soon, but this is all we do know again. But of course, we do know that other officers are among those injured, including Bernard Carrick's son as well. Many of you may know who he is. He's one of former Mayor Rudy Giuliani's staff members there. But again, this is all we do know as of right now. But of course, I will be leaving links in the description box below. But again, I urge each and every one of us to continue to keep many of our men and women everywhere, in our thoughts and prayers. Those who work effortlessly to serve and protect our communities day and night. And again, I urge us to keep Officer Joseph Seal's family and friends and loved ones and the entire department in your prayers as well. But again, there's absolutely no justification for this kind of behavior whatsoever. It's really sad, again, as I've stated, when you hear about these kinds of situations. But of course, we will be doing our best to monitor this. Officer Joseph is the only name that we do know of as of right now. We do know his identity. Of course, a picture of him is in the link below, which I will be leaving. But right now, we do not know the names of the victims or the suspects. Right now, the way I feel about this, I really don't care to know the names of these guys, because we do not want to give them this kind of time or whatever, because these guys do not deserve it whatsoever. But with that being said, if you'd like to keep up on any further updates or any breaking news, do subscribe. Be sure to hit that little bell, and please do stay tuned, and God bless.